Hiya, beekeeping with John Healy, week 4 intro. Up at my hives, obviously, very nice. This time of year, this time of year, all the plants change. The dandelions are up this week, which is beautiful up here. This top bar, I've been through it already. I've taken this frame out, and what's happened is the bees would normally lay, the queen would normally lay eggs up to about here. This is a sort of standard national size beehive, which is what my other beehives are. She would lay up to here, and that would suffice. With the top bar, she's carried on going. She's laid right up to frame 14. This one here. There's just honey on the end here, and that's it. So there are eggs and sealed cap brood, everything right up to the end here. I was expected to find, I knew I'd find a queen cell in the end. So I've broken down lots of practice cups, but this one here is not very big. But this is a practice cup, like a practice queen cell, practice queen cup, which they're now going to turn into an actual queen cell. If I can get the sun right, in there you'll see like a white substance. That's royal jelly. So to reiterate what I said last week, let's pick this up. 1 second. Oh. So in these cells there are eggs which the queen has freshly laid. And there's some little small maggoty looking things. They're the pupa, so they're starting to lay. They're the eggs that have obviously just gestated into the brood, and then they stay like that. The bees will look after them, and then they'll be capped when they're at a certain stage. So the eggs that are in here in these little tiny cells, they take one out when the queen's getting ready to swarm, and they put it in a special cell which they make, and instead of putting protein in there, which is all this lovely pollen, they will put royal jelly. They'll make some royal jelly, put that in there with a little egg, if you can see it, and that will turn into a queen. I'm just going to put this down because I'm jigging around all over the place. So what I'll need to do, I need to split this. I'm going to leave that queen cell in there because I haven't capped it yet. It's still building. They're still making it. They will make more. The existing queen in there will probably swarm and go. So tomorrow I'm going to go home and I'm going to make up some slats of wood, and I'm going to try what I was talking about last week. I'm going to do what's called the Pagden method. But this is with these hives. So I'm going to split the hive, and the idea is to trick the queen into thinking that she's swarmed. So it's almost like she's flown out of the hive with all the flying bees, because each bee in here has a certain job. There's nurse bees, which will then move on to be flying bees. So they have house bees, nurse bees. So all those kind of bees, the ones that just stay in the hive. After a few weeks, they progress onto foraging flying bees, so they'll fly out. They're the ones that fly out with the queen. So I'm going to trick the queen into thinking that she's swarmed, and the new queen cell, which is here, I'll come up here tomorrow and I'll see if they started making some more, forming some more. I'll select. Sometimes you come up here, there'll be lots in here, but sometimes you just work it all out. You pick the sort of 2 strongest queen cells, or the biggest queen cells. Pick the 2 biggest ones, and then you'll put them into another hive. With this one, I'm going to get my end board and put it in the middle, and then I'll put a load of these frames in there with the unhatched eggs and some nurse bees, unhatched brood, and some nurse bees with a queen that is yet to hatch. That queen will hatch after 16 days. I've got my days right, 16 days. If there are any more queen cells which I'll put in there, then she'll go and kill that queen, and then this will be a brand new hive. The existing queen, instead of, because she's now, I've replaced a load of these big lumps of wood, and there's no brace on, there's no comb on, there's nothing on there, so it's almost like all the flying bees are flying out. They've come back, and it's like all their furniture, all their house has been removed. There's nothing in there. There's just a load of wooden slats with the queen, and they start rebuilding again. So that's the whole point of it. This is a rather long video. I'd want to make this shorter because it's only the intro, but I'll just do top bar and intro on this. But this is the first time I've ever done this, so if I mess it up, then I'll mess it up. But right, okay, that's that one done.